Well, now I'd like to start the show. And the first person I want to introduce is Bob Davidson to talk about his dollar store treasures. Bob, welcome.
Thank you, Jim. We'll share the screen and we'll get going. So welcome to Dollar Store Treasures, which I will show you a couple products each week that I've found, excuse me, at the local dollar store. Once again, tonight, everything has come from the Dollar Tree store or the $1.25 tree store, if you want to be specific. And tonight we're in the kitchen aisle. I'm going to show a couple things and then actually show why I got these. So down the kitchen aisle, the first thing I found was this mesh strainer, which has a fairly coarse basket on it. But then hanging right next to it was this splatter screen. So this is you put it over a fry pan to prevent grease from splattering. And it has a very fine mesh in it, much finer than like window screen. So I thought, for those of you who don't know, I own a company that manufactures exhibits, and we probably generate 50 to 100 pounds of sawdust a month. And while sawdust that comes off a saw or a planer is too coarse to use, we have a routing machine, and a lot of the material we use is MDF. And the sawdust that comes off the router is quite fine. And I've often wondered how I could possibly make use of this, because frankly, it goes in the dumpster. So I found those two screens. This was the first sift that I did through the big screen, and you can see the coarse sawdust is coming out because we do cut some plywood, and we also cut some plastics. That's what the black things are. Those aren't bugs. So I sifted through a few loads of that, and this is what that first sift looked like. And then I utilized the splatter guard, and I just used a spatula, or, a putty knife, and just worked it back and forth across this very fine mesh screen. And what I wound up with was an incredibly fine sawdust. So frankly, I've just started. I just did a test today, just using some white glue to stick it down, and didn't overspray it or anything. And this is how it kind of came out. This is much enlarged, obviously, but I think it's something that I'm intrigued about for ground cover, or for, I'm actually going to have like a small construction site on my layout, and I'm thinking I could use this for dirt. And it's incredibly light, and I don't have to get into baking, dirt in the oven or anything like that. So again, that's tonight's two products. The splatter screen, which is and I would think there'd be other things you could use to sift out if you're using any plasters or anything like that, and you want to just make sure you don't have anything in it, or the mesh strainer. So that's tonight's episode. Just again, we'll be back next week with some more exciting finds from the dollar store.